Okay. Before I even say anything else, let me just say this. You. Yes, you watching. Subscribe, like the video, comment something nice or something shady. I don't care, just engage and don't make me pull a Myungi and start swinging. I will throw you in the Squid Game if you don't subscribe right now. Okay? Okay. Love you. Let's get into it. So, yes, I'm late. Not because I watched Squid Game Season 3 late. I actually watched it like 2 days after it dropped. Right after I finished K pop Demon Hunters, I went straight into Squid Game mode. The real reason this video is late is simple. I procrastinated. Hardcore. But I finally dragged myself to write this script and get this video done because even though I took forever, I actually really liked this season. It had problems, don't get me wrong, but I was hooked. That being said, why was everybody dying? Like, back to back, no breathing room. I was gasping. My girl Shayla, player 222, I am still not over it.
Oh my god, my Shayla. My Shayla.
And you know what else I'm not over? The way people are talking about Jo Yuri. Like, why is she now being referred to as the pregnant girl from Squid Game? That's it? That's her entire identity now? Nah, she's a singer. She makes great music. Y'all keep bringing up her Eyes One days, and yes, that was a serve, but y'all are being so unserious for not promoting her solo work. Taxi is a banger, and she just released a new mini album, episode 25, on July 14th. Go stream it. Personally, I like her last mini better, but that's just me being honest. I like more upbeat songs. Still, give her credit where it's due. Anyway, let's talk about this season because it was chaos. First of all, I would not have made it. The second someone said we were playing hide and seek with a death timer, I would have been laid on the floor and accepted my fate. But also, the show didn't give us time to breathe. Everyone kept dying and it made it feel so rushed. We barely got to sit with any of the deaths before the next one hit. Like, 120? Gone. 388? Gone. The shaman lady? Bye. I didn't even care about her, but like, still. And y'all, I'm sorry, but the amount of death this season was borderline disrespectful. The mom and son, that entire scene shattered me. She literally ends her own son's life because she wants to protect him from turning into a killer. And then takes her own life right after. Like, what do you even say to that? I had to pause the show and just sit. And then Junhee broke her ankle and we knew what was coming. The second someone gets injured but still makes it through, you know they're not gonna last. It's just Squid Game math. Also, unpopular opinion, but I loved the female VIP. She was giving everything. So dramatic, so fake rich. Sat for America Squid Game. I need her to show up in the spinoff. But speaking of characters, let's talk about Lunchbox. Yes, the man, the myth, the legend. People are dragging him for ending his own run, but if I was him, I would have done the same thing. Like, y'all used me, I played the game, and then when it came down to the end, you expected me to sit back and let you get the kill? No. Absolutely not. I'm jumping. I'm out. I respect him so much for that. Like, honestly, he was the only one left who made a logical decision. Everyone else was either crying, fighting, or monologuing. Lunchbox said goodbye and dipped. Iconic. Now, about 333, Myungi, I hate that man. Like, truly. He was going around slaughtering everyone for what? The vibes? You already made it that far, and you still had to kill everybody else? Relax. And the wildest part is, if he had just chilled, he would have made it to the final round with Gi-hun and the baby. And maybe even won. But no, you wanted to be a villain so bad. You wanted to be the moment. Well, you were the worst moment. And Gi-hun is a better person than me. Way better. Because the second they said the final choice is between you and the baby, I would have looked at that baby and said, sorry, sweetheart. I'm going home to my daughter. I know that's evil, but it's true. I didn't come here to die for somebody else's kid, but Gi-hun, he sacrificed himself like a legend, just straight up chose to die. And the worst part? It didn't even stop the games. The island blew up. The VIPs were dragged after his last words about humans not being horses. And now we're getting an American Squid Game. What was the point? And oh my god, the VIPs. Why were they so bad? Again? Why were they saying Mamma Mia like we were watching a parody? And whose idea was it to have them all dubbed like weird video game characters? They sounded like AI voiceovers. It was giving ad break, not elite secret society. If that's what rich Americans sound like, I am no longer patriotic. Also, the detective? What a waste of screen time. He was on a boat for 85 years, shows up in the last episode, sees his brother, says why, and then leaves. Like, that's all? You took up precious plot space for that? And can we talk about how they tried to recreate the glass bridge tension with jump rope? It didn't hit the same. Maybe because half the people playing were new or annoying. I wasn't even scared. I was like, okay, who's next to go splat? Also, personally, I think I could clear that jump rope game. I'm not even trying to be cocky, I just feel like I got the hops. But hide and seek, that was fire. The best game of the season. The maze, the tension, the fact that people we liked were on opposite teams. I was stressed. I was biting my nails. That episode alone deserves awards. As for the final game, Squid Game in the Heights or whatever, it didn't hit the way it should have. All the people I liked were already dead. We were down to Gi-hun and the baby and Yoongi. And I guess Lunchbox, but like we said, he respectfully dipped. The only thing I cared about was whether that baby was going to be okay, which honestly was such a weird direction for the show to go. Like, imagine watching all this death and chaos and the final winner is a baby? I'm sorry, but that's just so unserious. I'm glad the baby lived, but the baby also had no idea what was going on. She was just there. Also, I gotta say this, Gi-hun went mute this whole season and then didn't say anything when he found out who the frontman really was. We waited 3 seasons for this showdown and bro had nothing to say. Not even a "you sick bastard." Not a single curse word. He just stared. Nah, I needed a fight. I needed drama. I needed a full monologue. Instead, he just dies later on for the message. And I get it. The message is that humans aren't horses. But like, damn, could we at least get one final roast before you go? Anyway, I don't think this season was bad, but it was exhausting. It made me feel a lot. It broke my heart. It made me laugh. It made me angry. It made me scream. So, in that way, it did its job. But I think season 1 still reigns supreme. That was lightning in a bottle. This season, it was the aftermath of the storm. Chaotic, messy, emotional, but memorable. If you watched all the way to the end, you're a real one. Comment not Lunchbox jumping so I know you made it here. And please, please subscribe or I'll nominate you for the next Squid Game. Kidding, kidding. Kinda. Like, comment, and all that good stuff. I appreciate you. Bye!